Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Manns, and I have a proposal that aims to enhance the lives of the people in the Albury community. Society is becoming increasingly more urbanised, and people are working more and connecting less with the environment. Mental health issues are increasing, and there is evidence that indicates escaping into nature heightens well-being. Nature in itself brings a person back to the present, where the future and the past get forgotten for a time. This is what the project is hinged on, creating a space where people can come for their well-being in a naturally designed space. The site selected for the project is the Bowner Waters Reserve. It is a large natural parkland on the foreshore of Lake Hume. It is used for recreational activities such as fishing, water skiers, dog walking and swimming. There are various areas for parking, 2 barbecues, picnic tables and a children's playground. The site also has a boat ramp and public toilets. There are also off-road tracks which people drive on around the lake's edge. It is named the Bowner Waters Reserve as the town of Bowner was flooded to create the dam and Lake Hume. There is a historical plaque near the boat ramp which reads, "Under the waters of Lake Hume is the original township, population 150. Mapped in the 1950s and officially proclaimed a township on the 20th of March 1885. The site was inundated by rising water of Lake Hume in 1933, following the completion of the Weir Wall. Bowner Cemetery is located on the side of the hill directly opposite the northern side of the lake, above the high water mark and within private property. Many headstones remain, acknowledging residents and family connections of the once thriving township." In 2002, a revegetation program was started where they planted 57,000 trees. Now this was done with the help of Greenfleet, Scouts Australia and the Goulburn Murray Water. This is the site location, so it'll encompass the area that was revegetated, which is where the mindfulness walk will meander through, and there will also be main areas near where the toilets and the boat ramp are located. So the anticipated clientele. The project is heavily community driven. The community will be involved in consultation, building the site and using the site. The site will be targeted towards anyone, young and old. There will be specific areas targeting kids, so the playground, paths that are wheelchair accessible, and paths that are more adventurous. There will be various people needed for the site, such as artists, yoga instructors, painters, mental health services, and cafe and bookshop staff. Why involve the whole community? Well, it's because the project is for the community. And by them being a part of it, a part of the building, a part of the creation, a part of the design, they grow and connect with this project. It's targeted towards everyone because there are elements in the design that everyone can enjoy. The proposed concept involves 3 elements: a mindfulness walk, interpretive centre, and environmentally educational playground. The facilities will work in harmony with the natural environment. You can see examples of how these have been done in other projects. The playground, area for contemplation, and an intriguing path through the bush. The main focus of the project is the mindfulness walk, which will meander through the vegetation and shoreline. It'll have areas of contemplation where people can journal, paint, do yoga, for example. The path will be teamed with quotes for inspiration, as well as art from local artists. There will be more revegetation programs, and building the walk will be community driven with the guidance of professionals, which will help build the connection between the project and the community. Local Indigenous and non-Indigenous artists will have the opportunity to display their art in installations along the path. There will also be free art spaces where people can go paint, create, be present. Partnering with mental health organisations to run courses in the natural amphitheatre, as well as a space for therapy. The aim of the project is a place where people can come and connect to the environment within themselves and be in the now. These are examples of what it could be like. The interpretive centre will be designed like the homesteads in the old town of Bownah that were flooded. It'll include a cafe, a bait shop, place to buy self-help books, mental health classes like mindfulness and meditation. There'll also be interpretation of Lake Hume, the history, water levels, fish stocks. Interpretation on the town of Bownah, its history, and the history of the local Indigenous people and their practices. The environmentally educational playground will be a place where children and adults can enjoy together. There'll be an option for a business to start up, a high and low ropes course, where kids can come for kids clubs, where they can learn about team building skills and that sort of thing. And also educational programs on the environment to help make this world a better place. Toilet blocks, fences and paths are generically boring. This design will encompass a community art project to enhance the toilet blocks, fencing designs that will intrigue people, paths that will bring you back to the now and make people feel. The whole site will be environmentally sustainable in its design. The mindfulness walk focuses on minimal impact, so the path will weave through existing trees. The amphitheatre will be constructed on a natural slope. Further revegetation will occur for erosion control and habitat building, and that'll be a community project. And lake water will be used for the trees in early stages, which will flow back to the lake. The interpretive centre will be designed to look like the old houses from Bownah. See up in the top right corner? Recycled materials will be used where possible. It'll run on solar power. There'll be rainwater tanks, and the cafe will use recycled coffee cups and biodegradable products. The environmentally educational playground will use natural building materials like wood and earth. The educational programs will focus on sustainability. There are several problems and issues that I've thought of, the first being the four-wheel drive tracks. There are various tracks that people take to drive down to the lake's edge. This causes erosion, and if it's rectified and not allowed, there may be community discontent. The next is sourcing artists and the cost of that, because art is inherently expensive. So to have installations in the mindfulness walk means it may cost money. The art could be done by a community, but the cost of materials is also a factor. Natural art using materials found in nature may be the best bet. However, this causes habitat destruction to the understory. The access to the location is another issue, as there is no community transport to the location, so visitors either have to drive their own car or walk to the location. And it's a fair way out of Albury, so most people wouldn't do that. This can be rectified with a bus stop, and I wish to supply equal access to the site for people who do not have cars. The next is maintenance. Every area requires maintenance, some of which can be done by community members. However, there are some elements which will need to be completed by professionals, and that also costs money. Next is security. Parks are often common places for vandalism, and I don't think this will be any different. So security cameras would deter this. But this costs even more money. The last one is cost, which is an important problem and issue because development in any area comes at a cost. And I wish for this to be a free facility so everyone can access it. So other modes of funding for the building and maintenance, security and access and art needs to be thought of. Thank you for listening to this project plan. I'm passionate about creating places for environmental appreciation that brings joy into people's lives, and I believe this place will do that. Through mindfulness, interpretation and play, we can make this world a better place.